Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. The first competition of the year, first competition of 2025. So again, tonight is open, so there are no themes to it. So we should see a very good variety. Tonight we have Cliff Lawson joining us. We're honored to have Cliff. He's judged for us at least a few times in the past, if not several. Right, right. And I think this may be the second or third time that you've picked up the first competition of the year, which always ends up being one of our most popular competitions of the year in terms of volume. With roughly 80 images, that's not record high, but it's up there in the upper 25%, I would say, of our competitions. Let me go through a couple of other things that we have upcoming events. We have, let's see, February 19th, so our next meeting, so that'll be 2 weeks from tonight. March 5th, we have an exhibition night for those who haven't participated in those before. Great opportunity to learn, submit up to 4 images, similar to what we do here in the image competitions. However, we don't have a judge, they don't get scored, but we do allow the opportunity. We'll pull up all of your images. You have a chance to introduce yourself, talk a little bit about the image, a little bit about why you took the image, what made it important to you, ask any questions of the rest of us that are here. And we just provide a little bit of light feedback on those. But again, it's a great learning opportunity. So we usually have about 4 or 5 of those per year. And we've already had one that was last month. The next one is March 5th. March 19th, we have Lightroom masking with Eric Hagerman. April 2nd is our next competition night. And so that one is a themed competition, and the theme is leading lines. April 16th, we have Fundamentals of Digital Printing with Lewis Katz. So February 19th.
Perspective and Perception, the Myth of Style.
May 17th, we have the next exhibition night. May 21st, Galapagos Island presentation with Roger Frame. June 4th is the following competition, and that one is another open competition. June 18th is Capturing Time, Daytime Long Exposure Photography with Jürgen Lobert. And I won't go through the rest of them, but you can see those. I think those that are out there, you can see those up on the screen. But as we go through the year, we'll formally introduce some of the other meetings that we have coming up. So tonight we do have, again, Cliff Lawson, I mentioned, is our judge tonight. A few tidbits on Cliff's background. First took up photography during college in the 1960s. Photography was primarily a hobby until 2003, when then he retired from a career as an airline pilot and took up photography at a serious level. Just looking for something to do, he sought professional photography training. Became a professional photographer with certifications including master photographer and photographic craftsman through Professional Photographers of America. Specializes in portrait photography. No weddings, but not so many landscapes. When I've talked to him before in the past, he loves landscape images, which he will, I'm sure, see quite a few tonight, but just doesn't like getting up at that time in the morning. I think is what it really comes down to. Several awards for his high school senior photos. That's one of his specialties. Also headshots. In fact, the headshot that was up there maybe, or has sometimes appeared on our thing, was one that Cliff took of me. Also has become a very good videographer. That's something that he's been putting his time and energy into lately, and he's amazing at doing the video, whether it be recording programs for groups or going out and conducting interviews and so forth. But video is something that he's taken a passion for and is fantastic at it. Other volunteer activities. He's presented to our group on this before, but he did a spectacular veterans project in which he's provided high quality portrait images for, it's got to be over 100 by now, right?
180.
100, okay, well over 100.
80?
180.
180.
So
Wow.
yeah, and they're a very good service. It's a free service that he offers to veterans, and he's done these from veterans from all the way from World War II, Korea, Vietnam, all the way up to recent veterans. And he had, was it last year, up at Scott Wilson's Gallery 6, he had a big display of, I can't remember how many images he had up there.
We did about 70 that night.
70, yeah, and we had over 70 people there, I think. Yeah,
This
yeah.
last May.
Yeah, so the opening reception was attended by many of those veterans that he had done the images for. I was there. I think at least a few of us here in the room here were there for that opening reception, or attended a couple of the other events throughout the time that was on display. But super impressive work, very touching to the families and so forth, and that he's done these images for. So it really was. You know, one of a fantastic experience that night and for the whole time that those were out there. He's also done some volunteer work for Professional Photographers of Colorado, and has also been active volunteering his photography skills for Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep. I don't know if you do that as much nowadays, but I know you've done that in the past. Right.
I think you're done, Michael.
The list could keep going on, I know, but I will call it done because we have 80 images tonight, so I want to leave time for that. So with that, I don't know if anybody has any questions on anything else going on, any other points?
I just have one extra thing. Michael's not gonna promote himself, but at the recent Professional Photographers of America Conference in Dallas, Michael won the top award for the Gold Medallion Award for his Union Station picture.
Oh, thank you. So it's part of the American Society of Photographers, ASP, and they have a group of, you know, what it is through PPA. If you have your master's degree, then you qualify for entering that contest. And I think they had, I don't know, a couple thousand entries or something like that. But thank you. That was I was excited to receive that one. So
This is the book, so
yeah,
everybody
yeah. So
here
there's a book there
inside,
that's
there is, his picture appears in the book. And if you're just online, you can get on Michael's Facebook or something and see that, right?
yeah. I have it
Or
up.
I think
Something
you-
recently on Instagram and that. So and Facebook.
Last year, didn't he give me like third place with it?
Yeah.
No, I've never, for some reason, I never entered that one into the Lone Tree Club. So it's, maybe is it still eligible? But anyhow, but thank you for that point.
Sorry to steal your thunder there, Cliff, because.
Oh, hey, he deserves it.
I don't know about that, but with that, we will go ahead. But thank you. And also a huge thank you to Jane.
Happy birthday to Jane.
Yeah, happy birthday to Jane. Jane, thank you also for putting together, it's a lot of work that she does to put these images together that come in and put the scoring sheets together.
Okay, we're going to start out with the beginner, intermediate, color. Battle scarred.
I give this an 8. It's a good exposure, you know, it's a cool picture, but it's well, it's one of those that's kind of minimal impact. It's a nice picture, but it's an 8. There's not much to say about it, really.
Erosion.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. You know, I'm going to give this an 8 also. I would have gone with a 9 if we didn't have those blown out areas there. It's just where it's just the sunlight. I know you couldn't control it. It was what it was. But yeah, I'll give this an 8 also. Good color. That's great. That's great.
Eye on the prize.
Oh, that's cool. You know, it's good when you have a wildlife image where the animal is doing something, as in this case. This is very cool with the, I'm going to assume that this is the right orientation and it wasn't turned 90 degrees and he was looking up. Man, who knows? But boy, that's just as sharp as can be, a great background. Pardon me. Nice soft background, but the bird is in beautiful, really sharp, a great pose, as it were. So I'll give this a 9. It's very nice.
Glamour shots.
I don't know on this, you know, it's kind of a grab shot here. It's but it's a cool environmental image to be there when this was happening. Great color shot. I'll give this a 9 also. This is very nice.
Hello, yellow.
every, every photographer, every judge has the things they like and they don't like. And I'm trying to get past the spot color on this. I guess the maker did it because it is yellow, but there's so much other interesting stuff going on in this image that the yellow actually takes away, in my opinion, it takes it away from the rest of the image. I mean, we have that, the color of the sand could have, and those camels. I'm give this a 7. I just don't think that what you picked out as yellow adds to the image.
Horses on overpass.
Well, that's a beautiful landscape. Well, the maker was lucky we had a nice sky that day. It wasn't just a typical Colorado blue sky. That's really nice. Good color. It looks like it's in focus from the rocks in the foreground all the way back to the mountains. Great composition. I'll give this a 9. That's very well done. It's really pretty.
Hummer.
Boy, that's great. Stopping him in flight and stopping the bird's wings. That's great. Great background. The bird is so well lit. You know, even underneath it, boy, that's really well done. I'll give this a 10. That is really a beautiful picture. Very well done.
Let's eat the rainbow.
Okay, this is kind of an I was there shot. The colors are great in this. I'm going to give this a 7. It's just, it's kind of, I was walking by, took the picture. The photographer didn't really have much control over the light or anything. It's a nice documentary shot.
Nothing but the taillights.
Well, that's a great capture there. Man, that's cool. And the bird has a fish in its beak. That's really, if that bird had been coming towards us, I'd give it a 10.
Yeah.
But because it's going away, and I know you couldn't control it, but it would have made a big difference to see that bird's face with the fish in its beak would have been great. So I'll give this a 9, but really well done. That's really cool.
Sequoia halo.
I understand the reason for that, calling it a halo with the sun up there. And it's a cool angle, but it's still just a picture of a tree. 7.
Serenade at dusk.
Oh, this is beautiful. Boy, this is an 8. I mean, it's okay. The all white background, I don't think helps this image. It would be nicer to have some texture back there, but it's an 8.
Docked.
Yeah. Nice. This is what is cool about black and white. It's all about angles and shadows and textures. Yeah, 9 on this one.
Focused.
This could use a little more contrast, I think. This is a 7. I think I'm not sure that the tilt works for me on this one. Yeah, 7.
Hands.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. On this, I'm gonna give this a 9. So that's the score. But just before you change it, it looks like it's a little over sharpened. And I can understand you're trying to bring out the texture on this, but just be really careful. Sometimes you don't want the process to overpower the picture is what I'm getting at. Because his skin looks like maybe you're right on the edge of maybe too much, but it's a great image.
Lights out.
Yeah, this really works for black and white. This wouldn't be near as good an image in color, in my opinion. I'll give this a 9. That's nice lighting on that, on the angle.
Shadows of the falls.
It's okay. I'm trying to give it a better score than I'm thinking. I'm gonna give it an 8.
Spotlight.
Yeah, well done. That's very cool. How much did you pay the guy to drive through there? Nice texture. It's like, give this an 8 also.
The Black Knight.
I get the point. It's too bad that we don't have some nice lighting on it. It doesn't have any dimension. It's just kind of this black thing sitting there. If if you were at a sunrise or sunset, and we had some cross lighting on it, something to pull out the texture on it. That would have made a huge difference. But as it is, it's just kind of, I saw this thing and took a picture of it. It's just, there's not any impact to this. It's just kind of an interesting rock, so 7.
The Departed.
Boy, you were lucky. That sky is great with this. Great composition, that leading line with the little wall coming in there to the archway. 9, this very well done. This is really a cool black and white image. This again, I think is probably better in black and white than it would have been in color. It's really very well done.
The Gherkin, London.
This is a nice documentary. I was there image, but there's really no creativity to this image. You took a picture of something out the window. It's kind of an interesting building, but the lighting is not interesting. It's a 7.
Urban Deconstruction.
Again, a nice black and white image with all that texture and all those lines. This is a great angle on this. This is a 10. This is a cool image. Again, and you had a nice sky that day too. That's great.
Veins of Contrast.
Very interesting. Boy, you just about got the full range of shades of gray in this. From some really dark blacks up through some whites, where there's still detail in that. The processing, this is very interesting. Really, this is a 10. This is really well done. There's a lot going on in there. I love it. Yeah, thank you. That's great.
World War II Radial.
It is an interesting study with all those lines on the cooling fins on the cylinders, that's for sure. Give this an 8. Oh, wow, yeah. Those two are almost the same, aren't they?
They both have dirt in.
They both. Oh, man. Can I see them? Can I see them big again?
Yep.
Please. Oh, this is really good. Man.
I'll go back.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to pick the leaves. And again, it's really a close call. There's just something about this with you got all the shades from, I think you've gone from 0 to 250, maybe not 255, maybe it's 253. I mean, but they're both very well done. Both makers did a great job, but I'm going to pick this one because you made me.
Okay, we're going to do advanced black and white. Okay,
What was that last category? That was beginner.
beginner.
Beginner black and white.
Pretty good images there for beginners.
A soft place to rest.
You know, it took me a second to see the frog there, or the toad, whatever it is. That's very cool. Again, a great range on the grayscale here. Just about the whole range is picked up in this image. Very sharp. I'm not nuts about the complete white background, but I'm still going to give it a 10 anyway. That's really a very interesting image.
Above the Mist.
What was the title again? Above the Mist?
Above the Mist.
Okay. Yeah, this is an interesting image. And it certainly works well in black and white. I'm going to give this an 8.
Architecture, planes, angles, and light.
Good eye on this. This is interesting. This is a cool image. Let me think about this for a second. Yeah, this is with all the leading line, the converging lines. And I love that bench just sitting out. I'll give this a 10. Really good eye to see this, and the way you captured it was excellent.
Bison Stare.
Well, the composition is great. The focus is great. I'm going to give this a 9.
Dying Beauty.
This is a 10. This is really sharp. I mean, I don't even know what I'm looking at. I mean, I guess it's a flower. I'm not sure. But the focus is just superb. It's sharp. Again, you've got virtually all the shades of gray in this are so well handled. And I love the background. It just, that dark background really fits this image. This is just superbly done. That's an 11.
First flight.
Cool. We are really lucky, aren't we, when we get out there and the terrain off somewhere else causes the light to fall just the way it falls here. I'm wondering on this one, if it wouldn't be improved if we didn't have so much on the right. I mean, your eye goes over there for absolutely no reward. And the light section here where the light is on the dunes is so good. It's so nice. You know, I'm just kind of blocking the one side. I think if this were a square, I think it would be a better image. All that over to the right doesn't help us. I'm going to give this a 9. It would be a 10 if it was a square, in my opinion. Yeah, we're good.
Ghost.
This is a great image of the dog, man. That's just beautifully done. Great. I hate to say expression, but that's what it is, kind of, on the dog's face there. He's looking right at the camera. Eyes are sharp as can be. The fur is so sharp. That's a 10. Yeah, that's really that's a beautiful portrait of that animal, that dog. Yeah.
JJ in Cuba.
Since it's Jeff Johnson, I'm going to give it a 5. And tell him I said so. That's a great. The fact that I know the guy, or we all know the guy, is immaterial. This is a great portrait. I love the way you cut off the top of the hat. We didn't need that up there. You put so that puts the eyes at about the thirds there. Great expression on his face, the way he's looking off to the side. I mean, this, as a portrait photographer myself, I am really impressed with this. It's beautifully done. It's a 10 for sure. Pardon me.
Lined up.
I'm sorry, line what?
Lined up.
Lined up. Okay. Well, whoever took this, they were wired. Ba-dum-bum. Yeah, very cool. You're out driving on the road there, you see this. A great graphic picture. You know, it's kind of not really an abstract, but a great graphic image of the images of the poles. It's too bad the sky is so bland, but that's what you had that day. Yeah, this is very cool. I'll give this an 8.
Looking for a meal.
Well, again, we got some really good wildlife photographers here. The feathers are just as sharp as can be. Man, that looks great. That's a cool reflection. And the way you handled turning this all white, but leaving the detail, the ripples in the water and the little bits of grass over there. It's terrific. It's a 10. It's just a terrific image, man. You guys do some beautiful work.
Music for the serpents. Serpents. Yeah.
Yeah.
That happens when you have a birthday.
This is nice. Now, again, as a portrait photographer myself, the first thing I look at is how did you light the face, even if it's natural light. And it's kind of flat here. Still makes a good image. Um, it would, of course, I don't know what the environment was when you were there. Generally, I would like to have seen some environment around him. Um, but maybe this was taken, of course, this could have been in the studio too. I don't know. Um, I think this is a nice portrait, but it's too bad the lighting is so flat. It really doesn't help define his face. I'll give this an 8.
Off-season determination.
Cool. Now, see, whatever's in the background there adds to this image. Yeah, it looks like probably bicycle frames or something. I don't know what they are, but it adds depth to the image. And look at the lighting on her face. We got this nice light coming across. So we have almost Rembrandt lighting on her face there with a nice little light triangle under her left eye to us, her right eye. That just makes all the difference in the world. So I'll give this a 10. This is really, really well done. I wish I had taken that one myself. And that's just, I love it. That's
On the edge.
Yeah, again, it's beautiful and it is almost, see, almost square. Notice that? Uh, and that's great because boy, it really brings our eye into the into the part that really matters here. I'll give this a 10. Just a great black and white treatment of the dunes. Really well done. Yep. Great time of day.
Ripple dizziness.
Dizziness.
Mhm.
Boy, this is really this is a tough one. Well, you took it at the right time of day, that's for sure. We got that low sun brings out the texture in the sand there. I'm gonna go with a 9 on this one. But I'm thinking there's almost too much foreground on this. And I'm holding up a piece of paper to kind of crop it up a little bit. I think you never really know. I think if we didn't have quite so much down below and took out about a third of that, that might be more of a panorama. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Staying alert.
You know, this is really cool. The zebra with those stripes and the way this is presented with oh, you owe us all money for your phone going off there. It's almost a graphic image instead of a wildlife image. Um, so yeah, this is really cool. I'm going to give this a 10 also. Just um, looks like the same guy that did their person that did the bird with the same treatment there, but it works in both cases. That's really well done. Sharp, man. Oh, I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. The Expanse.
Um, Now, this is just my opinion. It's just not interesting. It doesn't have much impact. It's a chaotic sky, but I'm not really sure where to look in this image. I'd give this a 7.
Wild hares.
Yeah. Um, I'm going to give it a 9. I think it's cropped too tight. I think this animal, it just feels too tight around his head. I think a little more space on both sides would have helped this image. It's a great image. Boy, it's really sharp, sharp as can be. It's a great title because all the little hairs on his chin and around his eyes are just as sharp as can be. But he feels too tight. Okay.
Young photographer.
You should never take pictures of your kids or grandkids because no matter what the score is, you're going to take it personally. You're going to take it as a value of that child. Okay. So we'll forget that. Really, obviously, a very, pardon me, very cute image. Boy, sharp as can be. Um, just a great expression. That expression I have on my face much of the time. I think it shows that she's a very intelligent young lady because it looks like a Nikon. That's, yeah. I give this an 8.
Okay, you've got a bunch more.
Oh, geez. Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Oh, I know which one it's going to be. This one, number 3 here.
Yeah.
Dying beauty.
Dying beauty.
Dying beauty, okay.
And again, there's some really, obviously, there are some really great images there, but there's something about that one that it's really
Spoke to.
superb. Yeah, really spoke to me. Yeah. Second choice is the bicyclist.
Dying beauty, the rose.
No.
No. We'll run through them again.
Okay. This is the pro category.
Okay.
This one's called Encircled.
Yeah, that's very cool. Uh, this one has the advantage of we got some nice bright lighting down here and it's dark up here. Also, the composition is very cool. We're not showing the whole dome or the whole circle. I'll give this a 9. And someone remind me to tell you that there was another picture of the dome or something earlier that I think I gave it a 7.
Yeah.
When we're done, I'll tell you the difference between this one and that one.
Okay. This is called Light Climbing.
Yeah, very cool, very abstract, isn't it? Yeah, that's very cool. Give this a 9 also. It's a 9.
Meditation.
That's a 10. Great lighting with the black background there. I mean, that pose is really unique. And portraiture, such as it is, it's all about the lighting, and this is extremely well done. Um, it just makes you want to, the more I look at this, it gets cooler and cooler. Um, you know, one of the things in the judging is the impact, and this has some initial impact, but the impact of this image, it stays. I just keep looking at this. It's just so well done. Yeah, that's a 10. I love this.
Hey, we've gone through all the pictures.
Okay.
Do you want to talk
He's got-
about that one?
Yeah, is it possible to pull up both of those at the same
Probably,
time?
probably.
While you do that, Chuck, do you have the scores?
Yeah, I do.
All right, Chuck.
Check.
Okay, beginner intermediate color, first place, Sitting Pretty, Tamara Ripley. Second place, and the Judges Award, Stars and Stripes, John Mumford. Third place, Serenade at Dusk, Patrick Dodge. And the honorable mention, Swiss Betwort, Jeff Scott. For advanced digital color, the Judges Award went to Alone in Swamps, Candy Herman. First place is Good Catch, Jane Richards. Second place, Bobcat on the Prowl, Bruce Norman. Third place, Bayou Autumn, Jane Richards. And the honorable mention, Sparkling, Candy Herman. In the pro digital color, first place was Popcorn Panic by Dave Purcell. Second place was The Lone Star by Philip Rubino. And third place was Maple in the Round by Dave Purcell. Beginner intermediate digital black and white. First place and the Judges Award. Veins of Contrast, Patrick Dodge. Second place, Hands, Jeff Scott. Third place, The Departed, Tony Lazzari. And the honorable mention, Spotlight, Tamara Ripley. For advanced digital black and white. Judges Award went to Diane Beauty, Carino Zaragoza. First place, Looking for a Meal, Jane Richards. Second place, Staying Alert, Jane Richards. Third place, Off-Season Determination, not Jane Richards. Allison Gibson. And honorable mention, Ghost, Carino Zaragoza. And pro digital black and white, first place, Meditation, Dave Purcell. Second place, Light Climbing, Chuck Rasco. And third place, Encircle, Dave Purcell.
Jay, do you want to start about the run through? We'll give everybody's name. and-
Okay. Okay, Battle Scarred, Kathy Ellington. Erosion, Tony Lazzari. Eye on the Prize, Tamara Ripley. Glamour Shots, Kathy Bala. Hello Yellow, Carolyn Ryman. Horses on Ophir Pass, James Bitsema. Hummer, Gary Hubble. Let's Eat the Rainbow, Patrick Dodge. Nothing But the Taillights, Kathy Allen Chin. Sequoia Halo, James Ritsema. Serenade at Dusk, Patrick Dodge. Sitting Pretty, Tama Ripley. Stained Casting, Tony Lazzari. Stars and Stripes, John Mumford. Swiss Bistor, Jeff Scott. The Nomad, Kathy Bala. The Sun's Kiss to the Night, Gary Hubble. What by Carolyn Ryman. You're Clear for Takeoff by John Mumford. Zeus by Jeff Scott. Advanced Color, Cindy Herman, Alone in the Swamps. Bayou Autumn, Jane Richards. Bobcat on the Prowl, Bruce Norman. Canyon Glow, Jeff Woodard. Carved Through Time, Jeff Woodard.
Told you it's the same guy.
Cold Birds, Michael Rhino. I See You, Bruce Ryman. Good Catch, Jane Richards. Northern Lights 2, Shannon Ditzman. One In and One Out by Bruce Ryman. Quiet Reflections, John Baumgartner. Ram Lookout, Bruce Norman. Sparkling by Candy Herman. Spearheaded, Allison Gibson. Sunrise Splendor, Michael Rhino. Sunset Flight, John Baumgartner. Takeoff by Allison Gibson. The Tattoo Artist by Susan Langer. Vapors by Susan Langer. What's for Breakfast by Carino Zaragoza. Window with a View, Carino Zaragoza. This is the Pro Color, Maple in the Round by Dave Purcell. Popcorn Panic by Dave Purcell. The Lone Star by Philip Rubino. Beginner Intermediate, Black and White. This one is called Brushstrokes by Kathy Bala. Cold Birds by James Ritsima. Docked by Gary Hubble. Focused by Tamara Rimpley. Hands by Jeff Scott. Lights Out by John Mumford. Shadows of the Falls by Patrick Dodge. Spotlight by Tamara Rimpley. The Black Knight by John Mumford. The Departed by Tony Lazzari. The Gherkin London by Jeff Scott. Urban Deconstruction by Tony Lazzari. Veins of Contrast by Patrick Dodge. Okay, World War II radio, Kathy Bala. Advanced Black and White. Okay, A Soft Place to Rest by Candy Herman. Above the Mist by Bruce Ryman. Architecture, Planes, Angles, and Light, Susan Langer. Bison Stair by Bruce Norman. Diane Beauty by Carino Zaragoza. First Light by Jeff Woodard. Ghost by Carino Zaragoza. JJ in Cuba by Bruce Norman. Lined Up, Michael Rhino. Looking for a Meal, Jane Richards. Music for Serpents, Bruce Ryman. Off-Season Determination by Allison Gibson. On the Edge by Jeff Woodard. Ripple of Dizziness by John Baumgartner. Staying Alert by Jane Richards. The Expanse by Susan Langer. Wild Hares by John Baumgartner. Young Photographer, Michael Rhino. Okay, this is the Pro Black and White Encircled by Dave Purcell. Light Climbing by Chuck Rasco. Meditation by Dave Purcell, of course.
Good job.
Okay, well, this is just my opinion. Well, can you go back to the other one? You don't have to show them both together.
Let's see, what's in?
Go to all photographs at the top.
color.
Oh, this one, there it is, that one.
Mhm.
Yeah, pull that up. This is just my opinion. This image was like you walked, this is like the dome of a building or something. You walked into it, you looked up, hey, that's cool, you took a picture. There's no interesting light to this. There's no interesting composition. It's just bullseye composition, but the star right in the middle. That other one, there was cool lighting in it. The lighting was different across the image. It was composed better. It didn't show the whole disc. And that's why someone might go home and say, well, gee, that other picture that was similar got a 7 and that one got a better score. That's my opinion. You need to be, I think, I see this a lot when I judge even any camera club. People will take pictures of a building. It's a cool building, but it's just a picture of a building. And unless the lighting is really unique or the angle is really unique, it's like okay, I was there picture. It's the picture after your vacation, you go home and say, I saw that building. So I don't want to insult anybody, but a picture like that takes no planning, no creativity. All you had to do is point your camera and push the button. So it may be a great picture to you because you remember your vacation in Paris. But if it's a picture of the Eiffel Tower that any yahoo could take standing out there, it's not a competition image. It's just my opinion. You can feel free to disagree and I'll tell you why you're wrong.
All right, Chuck.
Chuck?
Okay. Beginner intermediate color. First place, Sitting Pretty, Tamara Ripley. Second place, and the Judges Award, Stars and Stripes, John Mumford. Third place, Serenade at Dusk, Patrick Dodge. And the honorable mention, Swiss Betwort, Jeff Scott. For advanced digital color, the Judges Award went to Alone in Swamps, Candy Herman. First place is Good Catch, Jane Richards. Second place, Bobcat on the Prowl, Bruce Norman. Third place, Bayou Autumn, Jane Richards. And the honorable mention, Sparkling, Candy Herman. In the Pro Digital Color, first place was Popcorn Panic by Dave Purcell. Second place was The Lone Star by Philip Rubino. And third place was Maple in the Round by Dave Purcell. Beginner intermediate digital black and white. First place and the Judges Award. Veins of Contrast, Patrick Dodge. Second place, Hands, Jeff Scott. Third place, The Departed, Tony Lazzari. And the honorable mention Spotlight, Tamara Ripley. For advanced digital black and white. Judges Award went to Diane Beauty, Carino Zaragoza. First place, Looking for a Meal, Jane Richards. Second place, Staying Alert, Jane Richards. Third place, Off-Season Determination, not Jane Richards. Allison Gibson. And honorable mention, Ghost, Carino Zaragoza. And Pro Digital Black and White, first place, Meditation, Dave Purcell. Second place, Lake Climbing, Chuck Rasco. And third place, Encircle, Dave Purcell.
Jay, do you want to set him up and run through? We'll give everybody's name. and-
Okay.
Yeah, good time. As what I was gonna say is. Great use of time, Cliff, in terms of moving things along, 80 images, getting it through with.
You did good.
Sometimes when we've had 80 images, we don't have this little bit of time here to go through the others, so. Great timing.
Okay, Battle Scarred, Kathy Ellington. Erosion, Tony Lazzari. You want to let me know when it gets?
Yeah, I'll let
Okay,
you know.
please. Eye on the Prize, Tamara Ripley. Glamour Shots, Kathy Bala. Hello Yellow, Carolyn Ryman. Horses on Ophir Pass, James Ritzma. I guess I'm saying that right.
Okay.
Hummer, Gary Hubble. Let's Eat the Rainbow, Patrick Dodge. Nothing But the Taillights, Kathy Allen Chin. Sequoia Halo, James Ritzema. Serenade at Dusk, Patrick Dodge. Sitting Pretty, Tama Ripley. Stained Casting, Tony Lazzari. Stars and Stripes, John Mumford. Swiss Bistorp, Jeff Scott. The Nomad, Kathy Bala. The Sun's Kiss to the Night, Gary Hubble. What by Carolyn Ryman. You're Clear for Takeoff by John Mumford. Zeus by Jeff Scott. Okay. Advanced color, Cindy Herman, Alone in the Swamps. Bayou Autumn, Jane Richards. Bobcat on the Prowl, Bruce Norman. Canyon Glow, Jeff Woodard. Carved Through Time, Jeff Woodard.
Told you it's the same guy.
Cold Birds, Michael Rhino. I See You, Bruce Ryman. Good Catch, Jane Richards. Northern Lights 2, Shannon Ditzman. One In and One Out by Bruce Ryman. Quiet Reflections, John Baumgartner. Ram Lookout, Bruce Norman. Sparkling by Candy Herman. Spearheaded, Allison Gibson. Sunrise Splendor, Michael Rhino. Sunset Flight, John Baumgartner.
Yeah.
Takeoff by Allison Gibson. The Tattoo Artist by Susan Langer. Vapors by Susan Langer. What's for Breakfast by Carino Zaragoza. Window with a View, Carino Zaragoza.
That's, well, not great.
It's a pretty version.
That's well done.
Thank you.
Okay. This is the Pro Color, Maple in the Round by Dave Purcell. Oops, sorry. Popcorn Panic by Dave Purcell. The Lone Star by Philip Rubino. Okay, we're going to go to beginner intermediate black and white. This one is called Brushstrokes by Kathy Bala. Cold Birds by James Ritsima. Docked by Gary Hubble. Focused by Tamara Rimpley. Hands by Jeff Scott. Lights Out by John Mumford. Shadows of the Falls by Patrick Dodge. Spotlight by Tamara Rimpley. The Black Knight by John Mumford. The Departed by Tony Lazzari. The Gherkin London by Jeff Scott. Urban Deconstruction by Tony Lazzari. Veins of Contrast by Patrick Dodge. Okay, World War II radio, Kathy Bala. Okay. Advanced black and white. Okay, A Soft Place to Rest by Candy Herman. Above the Mist by Bruce Ryman. Architecture, Planes, Angles, and Light, Susan Langer. Bison Stair by Bruce Norman. Dye and Beauty by Carino Zaragoza. First Light by Jeff Woodard. Ghost by Carino Zaragoza. Okay. JJ in Cuba by Bruce Norman. Lined Up, Michael Rhino. Looking for a Meal, Jane Richards. Music for Serpents, Bruce Ryman. Off-Season Determination by Allison Gibson. On the Edge by Jeff Woodard. Ripple of Dizziness by John Baumgartner. Staying Alert by Jane Richards. The Expanse by Susan Langer. Wild Hares by John Baumgartner. Young Photographer, Michael Rhino. Okay. Okay, this is the Pro Black and White Encircled by Dave Purcell. Light Climbing by Chuck Rasco. Meditation by Dave Purcell, of course.
Good job.
So if anybody wants to talk about their image and wonder why I gave it, I'll be glad to talk it over with.